Hi guys, welcome back on my channel. This is part 2 of my amputee story. If you haven't seen part 1, check it out. In part 1 I told about how I ended up being in a wheelchair. In this video I'm going to tell about the amputation itself and about how I felt afterwards and how I came where I am now. So check it out. Please subscribe on my channel. That would really help me out, and that would be so awesome if you guys will join this one big family. And I hope that with all the videos I make I could inspire you guys to live your life the best. So yeah, let's start with my story. So I finally heard that they wanted to amputate my leg. And the first thing I said is, oh my god, can I please give you a hug? Because I was so relieved that there was finally a possibility for me again to live my life and to have a life again. And then they told me, we just want to say one thing before we make you this happy, and that's that you will never learn walking again. Yeah. That's not something you want to hear, but I really didn't care about that. I was like, okay, there's no other option. There is not other treatment that could actually help me. And 50% less leg means 50% less of pain. So it couldn't get worse than it was. It could just get better, and I needed to do something. So yeah, I didn't care about the fact that I would never learn walking again. As you can see, they really proved wrong, because I can walk, I can do ice skating, I can cycle my bike, I can do whatever I want to do. But that took me quite a lot of training. So they said, okay, so you will never learn walking again, we want to amputate you, but before your amputation you have to train very, very hard. And I did. I am this in between disappointment with the doctors and my actual amputation was 3 months. And in this 3 months I went to the physiotherapist for 8 times a week to train my muscles to get stronger, and I had so much pain. It was awful. The only time I had in a day I spent it on training my leg, to train my muscles to get stronger. And there was the day, the 3rd of April, called Happy Amputation Day. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, Happy Amputation Day. It was the day that I realized I would have a life again. It was the day my life would start again. There was one little light dot again in this one big black hole. There was nothing left for me. Well, I had my leg, and my amputation was an opportunity to better my life, to do things again, to make friends again, to enjoy life. I was so relaxed before my amputation, and my heartbeat was like so low. Like only really relaxed people can have that while they're sleeping, because I was like so relieved and so relaxed about that. It was finally the moment. I was finally so far that, you know, there was light again into this one deep black future. I had a future again. And I woke up after my amputation and I was so confused, because I did have a lot of medication, so I didn't feel both legs, but I did have phantom pain, so that meant I felt the leg that I didn't have anymore. Yes, it's strange, it is. But yeah, I just felt my lower leg that they just amputated. So I freaked out. I put the blankets away and I was like, oh my god, you amputated the wrong leg. And I was so confused and I was freaking out so much that the doctors actually couldn't hold their laugh, because, you know, I did a lot of funny stuff while I was on all those drugs in the hospital. But yeah, so that's what happened. Then they really had to show me with a mirror that they did amputate a good part of my leg. And it was the first moment in 5 years that I didn't felt any pain. And that was so weird. That was so freaking weird. Being in the hospital has been, you know, a lot of weird stuff happened because I was using so much drugs there, like so much medication. I did saw some weird things like pink lions standing next to my bed. There were birds flying around and little elves and stuff. There was so much going on in my mind and I saw so many weird things. At one point, though, that's quite a funny story, I did have a spoon and I looked into the spoon and I was like, I'm kept in the spoon. So I licked it and I was like, I'm still in the spoon, and I started crying. I was freaking out like, no, I'm in the spoon. So I showed everyone like, yeah, I'm kept in the spoon, and everyone was like, oh my god. It can be good, all those medication. It was actually quite funny hearing back all those stories. And after being in the hospital for 2 weeks, a lot of complications happened. With the wound, with the scar, with everything. But in the end, I went back home after 2 weeks being in the hospital. And they told me that I had to stay home from school for 3 months. I didn't care about those 3 months. I went back to school in 4 weeks after my amputation. I was home for 2 weeks. And I went back to school and I still had to clean the scar, like the wound, every day 3 times. I did that at school because I could finally live again. So why wouldn't I? Why would I just lay in bed the entire time? Well, I could finally live again after 5 years. So I went back to school, and also then a lot of weird things happened about rumors going around that I amputated my leg for fun because I liked it or something like that. And you know, bullying kept going, but for me an entire new life started. And I've got so many great opportunities after my amputation. I did my first Amsterdam Fashion Week as a model. And yeah, I was the first model on Amsterdam Fashion Week on a prosthetic. So yeah, there we go, the walking story. 6 weeks after my amputation, I went to the Rehabilitation Center and I've got my first prosthetic and made my first couple of steps. Steps, and they told me that I was just allowed to walk with a physiotherapist. And I came back home and I was like, yeah, but if I can walk over there, I can also walk at home on crutches. So I did. I wasn't allowed to. I did, and it actually did work out. So a week later I went back to the physiotherapist and we're like, okay, today we're gonna walk on crutches for the first time. And I just walked away. She was like, you're so talented, how is this even possible? I went back home. I wasn't allowed to walk on one crutch. I did walk on one crutch, and it just kept going. And in 2 weeks, I could walk without crutches. Things went so fast, and in no time, I did cycling for the first time. within a year I did ice skating. One of my biggest dreams. I used to be an ice skater, figure skater, when I was a kid, and I always said the first thing I'm gonna do when I can walk again is doing ice skating. And it is a little bit different than I thought it would be, because you know, an amputation, just a little detail, not having 2 legs, but I did and I could, and my life completely changed. I started doing public speaking, motivational speaking at companies and schools, and I actually did a motivational speaking about my life, about bullying and all this stuff at my old high school, and this was so great to talk about my life and about everything I've been through to these little kids, and especially to tell them about what actions and words can do with other people because of the bullying. Another thing I told them is that being normal is a perception. People always see me as different because of my amputation, and you know, I'm just gonna be honest, that really does suck. I love to be different because I am different, but I'm not different because of my amputation. I'm always saying, if you're having a leg from flesh and blood or from metal and screws, it shouldn't matter. It all has one thing they have to do, and that's walking. So there's no difference between those legs, just they look different. And asked the class, like, I want to ask you guys, what is different, and does normal actually exist? Think about that. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, what your answer is on this question. Do you think you're normal? Do you think you're different? Why do you think this? So please let me know down in the comments. And the thing is, I just love motivate other people to keep going with their lives, not because I want to be an inspiration, but I know I am an inspiration. And one of the most important things in my life is that I can actually help other people. It always has been, it still is, and you know, I really hope I can help any other person with or without an amputation out there. And I'm always saying, like, a lot of things will happen in life, and I made a video about this. Check it on my channel, and that is, life is like a color book. You've got your life and it's already a drawing, so there's already something that's planned for you that will happen. But even the worst things can be a rainbow. It's about how you color in your life. You can make it entirely black, but you will have an awful life, or you can give it all the colors of the rainbow and have the most beautiful life you will ever have. And that's what I did. I put a lot of color into my drawing, and because of everything that happened, I can say I'm truly happy now. I lived in a hell for 5 years, but I've never been so happy as I'm now, and I don't know I would ever be so happy if all of this didn't happen to me. I hope I could inspire you guys by this story, and I hope you guys appreciated that I was so open about my story. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna make a lot more videos about my life, everything I do. I'm gonna make a video about my battle, how to learn skateboarding on this friend over here. So yeah, please subscribe on my channel so you won't miss any of these videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you are inspired by my story, and let me know in the comments about what you think about the perception of normal. I will see you guys next week. Lots of love and loves, kisses. Bye guys.